Anyways, I'm going to try and to get the final achievement in Limbo, which is to go through the whole game with 5 or less deaths, and I'll do it in one sitting. Which, this is my first real attempt. I've already gone through... Over the years, I've gone through the game multiple times. Last night in particular, before I started recording this, I decided to go through the game just to reinitiate myself with all the ludicrous deaths. Like, woo! Didn't die. This is going to be, hopefully, well, we'll see in the final tally. But hopefully this will be an easy experience. Well, easier experience. I don't know. Some people, I know one particular channel for some reason ranked this among one of the hardest achievements to get, which to me doesn't sound all that sincere because maybe it's just the amount of games I played, but there are a lot of... Also, I try to get achievements. Only if I find them interesting. If there is a particular achievement that is just... I categorize as go fuck yourself difficulty, I don't in particular go for those. But this is more of a, fuck me type difficulty, which every once in a while it's good to fuck yourself. Especially if you're lonely like me. This isn't a particularly... one of those really hard achievements. Well, there's kind of a spectrum of achievements. In particular, one... I'm also going to edit this down, so don't be worried if you think that this is going just to be one very long and boring video of, gameplay you've already seen. See, I edited around a very long pause. Anyways, there's achievements that are basically impossible, which are boop, boop. I think I already messed up. There we go. Alright. Basically impossible, which are... The most notable are achievements that are for multiplayer games, or multiplayer modes that no longer run. So all the servers are shut down, and there's no... there's some that you can still play, it's just that no one else is playing. But then there's others that you just can't play because there's no servers and they're never going to be up again. Those are just, the strictly impossible. Then there's the almost nearly impossible, and the ones that are such a time sink that... Why? One I think of right off the bat... And it's because I really like the game. Sega and Yakuza developer Binary Domain. It's a game where you shoot robots. It's unique. Its overall mechanic is just a standard and maybe not particularly special feeling cover shooter. But where it really shines is in its robots, which are highly destructible, so every single part of them you can destroy, which is just neat. But anyways, it's from the generation that has tacked on multiplayer modes, so some of its achievements also reflect that, one of which you can almost never get. You need to have more friends who all have the game, which I don't. I'm friendless. I have friends, but they don't really talk to me. Well, I have one friend who talks to me. Several. I don't know where I'm going with this. I have several people who talk to me, but the majority of my, Steam friends, they don't really interact with me much anymore. But anyways, with Binary Domain... So one is to go through all the multiplayer modes in the, like, there you are, buddy. Go through all the multiplayer modes in the versus stuff, which, like I said, it's dead, so you can still play that particular multiplayer mode. You just need to get people who already own the game and set up a little thingy. Yeah, I knew that was coming. Bastard. But the second thing, which is just a, like, go fuck yourself type achievement, is it's Horde mode. And in particular, the achievement where you have to finish all Horde mode maps. Which sounds like, oh, that's something fine, a wave-based thing that should be easy to accomplish. Until you get there, and from when I played, there's no, like, checkpoint system. It's you go through the whole thing or die, and the number of waves that you have to go through for each map is 50, which, just kind of doing some math. And the hordes last more than a minute. Even if each wave was only like 3 minutes long, that's still 3 hours you have to devote to every map. I only think there's like 3 to 5 maps, but still, that's 3 hours. Not only that, the Horde mode is dang near impossible to just do on your own. So you need to have a team of people who are willing to devote 3 straight hours. And the whole thing is like, if you all die, it's back to start. So yeah, that's one of the achievements that I'm like, no, I'll probably never get that. Unless I somehow get a bunch of friends one day. And by friends, I mean people who are willing to play video games with me. Anyways, tangent aside, in Limbo, Limbo is very much a game. So once again, going through, have to make it through this entire game in one sitting with less than 6 deaths. So far, 0 deaths, which is better than my last attempt. Though this is the relatively easy part, it's just a matter of not being stupid. Later in the final part of the game is the deaths mainly occur based on timing. There are certain things that you have to time pretty well that I think in my kind of practice session I got the timings down pretty well. Look, I have a little piece of, web or toilet paper stuck to my head. Whee! That kid didn't last. Thought I was gonna die there, didn't you? This game is designed to kill you. I wonder if it has the same level of... I know like Dead Space and Resident Evil 4, you can find compilations of all the deaths. I think this game goes into just as much detail. Like, there's a bunch of... Boop. There's a bunch of just as gory deaths as any of those games. Well, probably not as many, but still. And they have kind of unique animations to them. Especially it can be visceral. Especially for this type of, 2D, seemingly innocuous platforming game. I'm gonna get you. Well, actually, the spider will get them, because they're a bunch of bastards. This game would probably be mostly categorized as, people see it as mostly a puzzle platformer. Though I do think the puzzle elements are pretty light. I'd actually... I have... I hope I don't sound like I have some thoughts on things, especially when it comes to genre classifications. But I'm not an elitist. If people want to call a genre whatever, I don't really mind. I just like my opinions being heard, and maybe people are like, maybe. Well, this would probably most people say this is a puzzle platformer. I'd kind of put the cinematic platformer angle on this, just because of, well, stuff like this. There's a lot more set-piece moments more than puzzle moments, which most puzzle platformers, that's what you think of them. Other cinematic platformers would kind of be like the Another World, Prince of Persia, the original one. It's kind of a genre that's not that much explored. But I think a cinematic platformer just really, like, hammers home the fact that, it's telling a story through what you're traversing. Also, cinematic platformers usually have a lot of animation work to their characters. So maybe that's where this one would kind of get the disagreement from other people, because this is I'll use the word sprite for this is kind of, it's puppetry more than like highly detailed animation. But small independent company. I own it, which is with like a lot of games. I own Inside, but I haven't played it through, though through the internet I kind of know exactly how it goes. You turn into this thing at the end. Or Bo Burnham. But I always like to see company, like I have my thing, indie developers in general. If I really like them, I like to see what they come up with. And one thing I really like to see is them continually working on stuff. And by that I mean, sometimes there's games that never end development-wise, and I find that kind of sad. Just because it's like, yeah, I really like that thing. I like to see what you do next. Kind of like, a book. If you really like music, the person's music, you don't want them just to sing the same song over and over and over again. I mean, you go to a concert, you sing like, oh, sing that song, but if all it is the same song over and over again, well, at least to me, then, and probably I should get back to games and give some examples. Okay. Like, the biggest example I can think of is Terraria. Like, that's a game where, great game, I've played it a bunch, but I really wish they would stop making updates and work on something else. Not that the updates aren't good or anything, but I'd like to just see an expanse of what the creators behind it can do. Though I know one of the section creators went off and made Starbound, another game, but that was okay, but not as compelling, and a lot of people don't like the story, and yeah, I can see that. It's kind of weird to have a structured story. No! I thought I did that wrong for a second. Whee! Probably should say, this game, it's designed to trick you into killing you. If you haven't played. Like, kind of the expected notion is that you're gonna die. Like, going through this, you're going to die at least once. You can see in that area that there was clearly something that looked like a button, even though it was a platform, and it was just to basically say, well, to trick you to think, oh, you know that there's a thing above you, and this button. Okay, yeah. And you're probably gonna think this button sets it off. So instead of, you're like, I'm gonna be smart, I'm gonna jump over the button. But turns out it isn't the button. Everything around what you thought was the button is the button. And then the next thing, you're like, oh, I see what you're doing. And this time it is a button. Butt on, butt off. Electronic super joy. A good platformer, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah!
Just a little. So, Limbo, very much a game where you can interpret it however you want. Or at least in my mind. Like, you could say the developers had some intent. I don't really know it. Haven't done a lot of research on intent. Mainly because maybe that would probably spoil my own headcanon. Which I think having your own headcanon is fun sometimes. Hey, little guys. You want to eat my brain? Like, I am one of those people who likes to theorize on things. Theorize on, oh, there's a plot element here, and there's little clues and stuff, and, sometimes I like to see what the true answer is, but other times it's like, I made up this story, here are the clues from this thing, and I don't really care if it's, I don't really care if it's truthful or not. It makes me happy to think it's this way, and that's fine with me. So just going by the title, it's called Limbo, and you're in this weird, gray world. I think of this as, metaphorical. A person's dying, and their life is flashing before their eyes. So you start in the forest, big spider, stuff like that. So this is kind of going through... Oh, I forgot. Silly me. This is kind of going through childhood, through adulthood. So you start in the forest, spiders. So the scary things when you're really little. And then adolescence, those stupid lost boys who are trying to kill you. And now we're kind of going into adulthood where, the natural no longer has control over you. In fact, you begin to control it. Kind of like that little guy who I just put in a hamster wheel and made it rain. And now you're going to go into, the industrial world. And maybe this probably represents the dude's, job. You have these little brain things. The little maggots that hook into your brain and control you to make you kind of go down one path. And I think that can represent a monotonous job or people telling you what to do, because it comes even before this whole section. I like the sound of this part. Like, we hear all this and then... Very good sound design. I like the, the physics in the game are actually kind of neat. Things bob and displace and have some weight to them, as you would expect. There's the Blade Runner industrial fan. Now, I don't know what all the boxes represent. And it comes to that, like, development-wise, this game could, the developers of the game could probably have had no real plan of what all this meant. And it's just because a lot of the stuff that you could interpret as this and that, they're, mechanical elements for gameplay. So you have to think, do they really think of all of the inner symbolism first? Or did they think of all the inner symbolism first? Or did they develop the game mechanics first? And, does it really matter? No, because I like how the game is. Actually, see that, I have somebody. I was just talking to myself here. Boop, 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 boop.
At this point, I re-explain to the viewer what achievement I'm going after.
And now to get possessed. Whee! I see light! Yeah, I really do think it is very doable. Which is weird, like, I think it was What Culture or some other list maker YouTube channel, which I do have some issue with every once in a while with list maker channels. But they, like, rank this as one of the hardest achievements to ever get, which seems kind of ridiculous, particularly when you go through a lot of games. Because there are ones that are just straight up impossible here and there. Boop. And doop-de-doop-doop. Now I'll just have to wait for this pipe. Waiting. I really like install this. Sound is... Sometimes I just buy games. Oh, yeah, I'm stupid. Went too early. So that's death 1. Oh yeah, I was playing one game called Loop Hero. Yeah, Loop Hero. And one of its final achievements, it's not impossible, but it's just time-consuming, was totally RNG based, because it's... So in Loop Hero, you have a bunch of... You pick cards that will help you out on this loop that you go through, and the achievement is you have to place cards that aren't in your deck. And the way to do that is you fight ghosts in the game, and if you kill this certain ghost, that it will give you a random card. I believe that's how it was. And that car... And the thing is, to get that ghost was totally RNG. You had to set up this thing. You had to set up a graveyard. The graveyard would then have like a 1 in 5 chance of spawning a ghost. And it wasn't just that ghost you needed. You needed the ghost of a ghost. So that also had a 1 in 5 chance. And not only that, you needed that ghost of that ghost of that ghost, which also had a 1 in 5 chance. And you needed to do that 10 times. So yeah, the math on it, it's like you have a... I believe it was like a 1 in 125 chance for each of those encounters, and you needed that 10 times. So yeah, that was just... And you had to do it all in one session, which means it was just a very tedious, like, 2 to 4 hours of just waiting for... Ah, crap. I don't know. Okay. Just encountered a minor bug where it made me go to desktop. Now, what does the hotel represent? Could represent sexy time. Could represent, yeah, long travels. So in this game, like, that you can only really understand through the description is that it hasn't happened yet, but there's a ghostly figure that you see kind of in the distance at one point that's supposed to be your sister. And I'm going to say it represents family. And how he probably abandoned his family on maybe long business trips or just getting away. Or maybe the girl kind of represents family in general. Now, my favorite explanation of this game, of like what's actually happening, is that you're basically in a car crash, and this is the life flashing before your eyes before the ultimate demise. And I only say that because at the very end, you go through this kind of barrier, and you go through this barrier in slow motion, and it kind of breaks like a windshield. So maybe the moral of Limbo is that please wear a seatbelt. Alright. Now this is the part where deaths are more frequent because you have to get good timing. Yeah! Eat my head stuff. Okay, yeah. That has caused me a lot of deaths in the past. Not because it's particularly hard, but just because if it touches that box, then you're gonna have a bad time.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Of course, the easier part is what kills me. Death 2. It's his nubby little arms. Alright. Let's just be sure this time. Like, another game with great sound design, and that I really like, that I wouldn't have played unless the sound design, is Soma, creators of Amnesia's second game, and there's even behind-the-scenes videos of them making all the sounds, and it's just cool, like the water sound. It shows a guy in scuba suit, and he's just in the middle of a lake, making splashy noises with stuff. Ooh. And, because I'm a scaredy cat most of the times, so horror games, they have to be in particularly interesting to me for me to give a crap. And Soma, like, just most of its file size is just sounds. I believe it's like 15 gigabytes, and I think like 8 of those are just the sounds in it. I hate this part. 1, 2, 3. Come on! 1, 2, 3. Also, that's death 3. It's a box! Death 4. 1, 2, 3. And I fail. Well, that's it for this run. Death 5, so if I die one more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so just don't die anymore. I can do that. There's a corpse. There's the bug. You don't see me. Keep eating the corpse. No. I'm not, I'm paying attention to you, you know. See? Now bugs mean nothing to me. I do like puzzle games, platformers, cinematic stuff. Another game that I have just one more achievement to go through is Braid. And it's the time trial one where you have to beat the whole game in 45 minutes or less. It's... I need to look up a walkthrough for that. Alright. And more, it's a walkthrough. Like, it's a 3-hour game that I think I've played for 20 hours just because of how much I like it. Even, it's always a weird thing where, like, you think puzzle games don't have much replay value, but I don't know. If they're just fun to play, sometimes I like to go through them over and over again. But there are just some moments in Braid that are a bit, just with a 45-minute time window, there are just some moments where you really need to know the puzzle very well. In particular, there's one where the little Goomba guy... I didn't mean to do that. Okay. It'll roll back for a second. Little Goomba guy is kind of on a... It moves when you move. And you have to grab a key, and it's just this whole complex, like, 20 steps to get in. I always mess it up. Bam. Now I'm a factory worker. Like Willy Wonka. Or Charlie. Charlie and the demonic bug factory. That ladder's just there to waste time. This is definitely one of those, you have to know it. Alright. Nope. Oh crap. Please, no! I was thinking of a different part where you basically have to ride a zip line. This is just a cool, like done in many games, like Castlevania 4, but always cool when the entire level rotates. Another interesting that like puzzle platformers, indie platformers were such a big thing, and now you don't see them as much. Like this reminds me of a gravity manipulation game of, and yet it moves. In that game, you could like change your direction. Did a little bunny hop there. No, indie games have kind of changed. Like, this used to be the standard indie game. It's like, looks fine, but not, not mind-blowing, but still looks good. Now it's like some of the indie games that get released. Just look, it's a, how is this any different than a AAA? Well, well, that's it. This is attempt number 2. I actually looked up on Moby Games what they consider this, and looks like I'm not the only one who said that this is a cinematic platformer. That's what they labeled this as, so. And fuck. Attempt 2.1. I don't know, seems a little faster. Oh. Okay, actually did well this time. I was thinking about all those, Nerd City did a thing on Jay's Station. I was thinking about those channels that are like, oh, I'm doing something crazy at 3 a.m. when normal-wise 3 a.m. is basically when I start my day. Or even before. There's nothing that crazy about 3 a.m. It's like all the other times except darker. And any phone calls I get are wrong numbers. Push the dang trio. Now, for those who don't know, I believe this game has 13 achievements. I'm going for the last one. So, one of the main achievements are collecting all these little nubbies, which I've already done. And it unlocks a bonus level, which one of the main kind of puzzles for this bonus level is navigating through a totally pitch black corridor. Did that a few years ago, so I don't think it like gets you a different ending like Inside does. It's just a bonus hard level. Alright. See you later. Okay. There's gotta be a little boop, boop, boop. For some reason, like, I did a little practicing in between these attempts, and I died twice right there. Hey, dead person. How you doing? Whee! Oh, damn it. That's one. I just got the timing wrong. Nope. So in the period that I wasn't playing this, well, wasn't attempting to get this achievement, I perfected. I got all the achievements in Metal Gear Solid 5, which was a lot of about 2 hours of listening to podcasts while trying to catch a turtle, and a cool isometric shooter that I'd say is in the vein of Robotech, called Assault Android Cactus. Kind of a cute little game. You got fucked up, buddy. Hey, Crow. 2 deaths, 0 friends. Now we picked up a new friend. I insist that you go first. Bring it. I'm gonna go. I'm an idiot. That's 3. Swinging a chain, swinging a chain. Four. Boo. So now I just need to do a perfect run. Boom, bing, boom, bing, boom, boom, bing, bing. What just happened? Yeah, might as well just start again. So Attempt number 3. Okay, didn't know you could survive it. Good to know. And, of course, 1. 2. Really is a greedy spider. Like, he probably kills about 4 children in just these, like, few minutes. He should have just cut his losses. Well, not really cut his losses, just, accepted his gains. He could have eaten that child. That crow decides to eat a box instead of a dead child. Like so many animals in this thing. Touch my little toe. 3. Okay. Hey, girly. Oh, no! No, 4! Oh, I don't think I had to come this way. So I died for no reason. Five, because I didn't do that. Choo-choo! No, no. Choo-choo. Well, that's it for that. Okay, attempt number 4. For real this time, because now the frame rate's good. Gonna bump, 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 beep. 1 sitting, no deaths. Well, less than 5, 6 deaths. Feeling good about this time. No stupid deaths. No stupid deaths. I can do it. I can do it. Cinematic platformer. Okay. First hurdle done. Beep, boop, boop. Beep, boop. Yo, ba, be, dr. Tuki, tuki. Boulder. Next comes the trees. Also where the first maggot is. But I'm not going for the maggot. Maggots, I already did that. This is all for the achievement to not die. Look at this box. It's a pathetic box. Should never float. The next is spider. Now I just need 2 bings. Second bing. Last bing. Spider's revenge. Now we go into mummy jumps. Now we do a mummy boulder. First, little boulder to knock tree down. Then we do a rolling boulder. Now is time to say hello to the fellow children. See? Hello, child who hung himself. Well, hanged, not hung. Now we got the incredibly tall stumps. Little jump. Got the wooden spider, but we scare them. Flaming tires. Great balls of fire. Got the tree house, that is it for me. Now we have spiders, have a good day. Yeah, now we have a helping hand. One more. A helping leg. Final leap. Never catching moss. Last leg. Feast for crows. Rain slug intro. Our friend. What friends are for. Obvious traps. The Dark Boys. Come at me, bro. Rope and cart. For some Reese Pieces. Next, I believe, is our command over nature. Well, first nature's command over us. Chomping at the box. Hamster in the rain. Swing in a chain. Reverse Shawshank. Flooding everything. Ride the boxes. This made me think about Ninja Turtles for some reason. Booey! Caught. Leap of Kingdoms. Divided in some boxes. Smash, smash. Doubles ladders. Let there be light. Waiting for shit to fill up. Eat me. Alright, 0 deaths so far. Now we get to the hotel. Well, 1. Sparky, sparky, boom, man. Limbo, we're on the roof. Little boy breaking the glass ceiling. I'm gonna be a fireman someday. I know how to work a hose. Construction hazard. More mine slugs. Elevator action for shadowing. Slow down. Yeah. Rock back and forth. One last time for good measure. What is this even? You're staying with me. Oh, clutch, 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 clutch. That's my most hated part. Everything will be fine. Sneaking up on Jeff Goldblum. This is for killing that monkey. I tire of bridges. What do the boxes represent? We will never know. Giant gears. My gears are spinning. Two boxes, one button. Oh! Swinging a longer chain. These gears turn everything. Holding on to a chain. The part where your sister is a tease. Now you see it, now you don't. The part that's easier than you think. What the fudge? Oh, what was that? Easier than I think. The part where you shouldn't forget that you could go right. So you don't fall to a... This ladder got swagger. The saw blades that floating in fucking air. And I can get my feet cut, yeah. Gotta watch it, yeah! Are you afraid of the dark? The spooky music. Well, it's like a holy music. Holy gun. Don't know why there are turrets here, but whatever. The music cuts out right after the gun explodes, so I'm not sure what's happening there. Alright. This is, I'm feeling a little lightheaded. Don't let the box hit you. With a good Lord split you. Look at that tire in the background. What does it know? What does it need? Alright. Final thing. Or at least what I call a final thing. There's still a few more puzzles and, well, platform sequences, not really puzzles. Ah! I was trying to be quick. Don't stop laddering. Time to be Peter Pan. Hi, butterfly. All right. Final sequence, and we break through the windshield. Thanks for all your hopes and dreams and praises. We can do this, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. Don't get impaled. Ha-ha! Ho, ho, ho. Yes! Okay. That was a little close. With one fucking death. Two fucking deaths. You better fucking pop, okay? So beautiful. Especially when you know there's an achievement on the way. That better fucking pop! Come on. Get up. Get up. Whew. As long as we don't get any deaths here. That would be bad. Or if the game just crashed. And I learned that's hair, not boobs. Yes! I did it. I did it, Mom. I did it. I did it so well. Only 2 deaths. Woo! Also kind of sad game, but still, woo! If you like this video, let me know if you want more. And now to do what's the best. Boom. 82. So yeah, Brown Monkey on Steam. And I like to get achievements. And you can look at the list of games I have, and if you make a suggestion. Yeah. Still nowhere near 10% of the perfected games. I have a lot. But yeah.